Hi, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Today we're going to be putting light sockets on your playfield. First thing I recommend is cleaning all these inserts. I just use like a acid brush, and I use my vacuum cleaner, and I take the hose off the suck part of it and put on a blow, and I'll just blow and go like this. And that usually gets these really super clean. And then the rest ones, like these big ones, I'm going to use a microfiber cloth and just wipe them. Because what's really on here is just dust and stuff from the process of cleaning the playfield. And that's really all that gets on them. So CPR does give you little dots on where everything should go. However, you can see I have my playfield here, my original one, which is really awesome to have as your road map. I think I get that as straight as possible. It's awesome to have as a road map for routing your lights where they originally went, your bulbs, and your sockets. So, first thing you're going to need to do is take one of the bulb screws out that is held. Figure out that screw right there and get your comparable screw at home, which is these vary so much from screw to screw. I'm just sticking with number 6 3/8 long screws. This is probably a little bit longer than 3/8. I notice everyone is like different. This screw here was smaller. Let's check one of these. That's a longer screw. Yeah, I don't like that. These screws are so long. They come just a little bit from the playfield. So we're not going with the factory long screws. We're going with just a little bit shorter screw. I got one in right here. Right here. I'm going to show you how to do a couple others. Why do we get an extra hole there? Okay, that's crazy. I just realized that. I got these two here. I got 2 holes here. I have 3 holes here. Why the hell? I have 1, 2, 3. I have 1, 2, 1, 2. I guess they're putting an extra light in there. That's what I'm thinking. They're putting an extra light because there's a light here. There's no light here. This is your flipper mech. let me look back on some photos I have and see if that is possible. But yeah, we have a hole here that's not supposed to be here, along with one that is not supposed to be there. So if everything lines up, we're just going to put extra bulbs in there, but we'll be right back to look at that. Alright, yeah, we can put extra bulbs in that socket. We can totally do it because there's a giant guard. Actually, I got them right here. Cliffies. I got some for my Gorgar, and I have some for this game, so we're going to look at Firepower and Gorgar. And we'll cut these off here and we'll look at them. That's my wife there on video. If you heard anything. Yep, that's her again. Alright, Gorgar. And Firepower. These things are made nice. So, that will go like that. Right like that. So yeah, we can put a extra bulb in there. And we are going to put an extra bulb in there. So that's actually kind of a benefit. Like, let's say like a little upgrade. Alright, let's get this back in the bag there. Let me pause this and we'll flip everything back over. Alright, we're back. Yeah, we can put an extra light socket in there. It is not required. However, yeah, we can put one here, and we can put one here. I can just tie these two together really easy. Alright, since we got that figured out, my drill bit that I'm using, let me see what it was again. 5/64 for screws. And then I got it taped, so only a little bit can drill into the playfield. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set that in there. Obviously look around, see how it's spaced. And then this one. See how it's spaced. I'd like to get it centered. Yeah, that's good to me. I'm going to take my screws here. And we are going to put some new sockets in. Now a lot of people are like, why don't you... That's my wife. She's got to work down here while I'm working down here too. So, a lot of people are like, why don't you just reuse all the old sockets? Well, why don't you just reuse the old playfield? You know what I mean? Just reuse the old playfield. Don't do anything new. These sockets, you probably had some flickering or issues with them or something. So why not replace them? It's obvious to me that, you know, you're doing a playfield swap. Why not put new sockets, new bulbs, everything on them? It only makes sense, you know, to do that. These I kind of want to line up so they're over the top. I got a marker. Why don't I just do this with a marker? You can go by these dots that they put on a playfield. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Since we're working in this area. They do put these dots on here for the lights. You can just zing your stuff in there with them. There's no issues. However, I kind of want to have my lights directly over the inserts. There we go. So now I'm going to take these bulbs out of the other playfield. We're going to reuse them. These are good bulbs. They work. And this is how they had the game lit. And we're going to light it exactly the same how it was lit at the arcade. I'm going to have to get some more screws, but we're going to go through this and do a couple of them together. Just so you can get the gist of what we're doing. Now these will get joined together by wires to because they work in junction with each other. But yeah, I'm gonna go through and start populating the playfield. I don't think you really want to sit there and watch me do all this. I don't know how fun it is, but I guess I don't really need. I do. There. Okay. Like I said, I got the tape on there for a depth gauge, and you need to keep checking your depth gauge. You don't want to drill through the top of your new playfield. What time is it? Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the store and get another box of screws. Last playfield swap I used a different type of screw. So this one is getting a different type of screw because it's kind of what was on there. You know what I mean, Vern? Steal that bulb. Put it back here. You should actually just put the bulbs in into the new socket first, which I'm going to do. On this next one. So yeah, like I said, this game does belong to the Garcade in Menominee Falls. So you need to go over there and play it And by the time you see this video, it will be too late, but however, it should be at the Midwest Gaming Classic 2025 too. It should be there too. Now I'm a perfectionist at this, so I'm aiming these bulbs like right on center of everything. So if you're wondering why I'm like tinkering with setting this up and setting that up, it's because I just want this to be lined up exactly perfect, lined and everything to me. Well, do a couple on here. This has a big flasher that has no bulb, so when this game was done, Gar probably stole it and used it in another game. And we're going to bend that one out a little bit. We're going to use that factory hole, that factory dot right there. We're just going to reuse that. So I like where it's at. I think it's in a great spot for this flasher socket. Yeah, see it? Not turned the way I want it. Yeah. I like that better. Yeah, these are weird. They don't use, what do you call it, flashers. So let's take these bulbs out. We're going to do this last one. And then I'm going to go get some screws. But we will come back to do the braids. Yeah, I like these holes that CPR provided. So we are going to just reuse them. Checking my depth again. Always check your depth. Yeah, I'm going to need more screws. Okay, how do I want that one? I cannot clearly use a screwdriver with my left hand. There. Perfection. So yeah, now I got to do this like 40 something more times all across this play field. That's why I pre-made all these sockets. There was 38 of these. But I have to put the flashers in. I have to put these in. I have to put these in. These ones we will staple in. They will get with my staple gun. These will, they're going to go here and here. And then we got here. And then we got one here. And there's one over here. But those will go in with the staple gun. I have a real nice staple gun that's super uber quiet. I mean, it's uber quiet. So, yeah, you're probably going like, okay, Mark, you just preached to us about not reusing sockets and not reusing braid, but you are reusing bulbs. True. These are Comet LEDs, and there's no reason not to reuse them. They work. Why do most people LED a game? Because they never have to change them again. So why change the bulbs? If these were incandescent, just regular old glass bulbs, no, we wouldn't be using them. But since this other play field up here, might as well bring you up to it. This play field right here already has, it's all LED'd already. I have to transfer this whole bar. So that's kind of why I just unscrewed it to see how everything was. I gotta transfer all these LEDs. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna copy exactly how it is. Gar really mapped out this game really good. He's really good at mapping LEDs. Let me get in there so you can actually see me. Gar at the Garcade, he's really super good with LED placement to highlight the games. I've seen a lot of his stuff and I really like it. The way he colorizes stuff. He's just got a good eye for it. So that's why we're reusing everything. And as I'm going through them, I'm just bending these down. That way it's letting me know, okay, this area's done. And I'm just going to keep going through it. I got other little things to add. We can't go too far because I need, where these go? I need some more pop bumper lights. You forgot to order those. So hopefully, I'm not going to get that far anyways where I'm going to need them. But yeah, I'm going to pause the video here, and then when we come back, we're going to be to the point where we're going to probably start braiding this machine. And then that will be the end of this series. Well, the population of underneath playfield, the braiding, lighting, that will finish that. But as you can see on here, how I'm doing it so far. I'll try to get this straight. How I'm doing it so far with these, and then I'll be able to bring my braid and zigzag it through wherever I need to go with it. But you can see how to do this. I don't need to show you the rest, but you can see how the lights are lining up right now. And we're just going to keep going. Like I said, with your drill, make sure you keep checking your depth guide. Keep doing that. These are number 6 screws, so the internet told me what drill bit to use, so we don't strip anything, and they stick in, which is good. And if you do strip anything, you can always put a toothpick in there, and then with a little wood glue, and put your screw back in there. So don't be afraid of stripping. What I like about this, these screws are tighter than hell right now. They're not going to move. They're like the factory ones. The only time these screws come out is when the sockets are bad. These sockets are good. They're brand new. They'll never be bad. So I don't have enough screws to do this whole play field. Yeah, I could take the screws out of the other play field and reuse them. But no, I'm just going to get a box of screws and I just leave that. That way he could hang that on the wall if he wanted to, or swap out sockets for other games. You know, take the screws out as needed or whatever. But we'll be back with this when I have it all populated. Alright, and we are back. I have all the mechs installed. So what I need to do now is I need to start getting my braid in. I know general area of things that are going now and how some of these sockets will be. I got two of them here. I have two. I just put one of my wrenches away too. I want to get these so they're 45. So I want to have actually like the other way. It's the hardest thing is turning these sockets sometimes. There. That one's got to go there like that. And then this one, it don't matter. What I'm trying to do is this. Better if I block the whole thing. Okay, as you can see, this one right here is a side mount for the bulb, and this one is the top mount. Oh, how do I turn off auto? I think it's this one. Manual focus. And then I don't think I can do that because I can't turn this. Okay. This one is for the side. This one is for the middle. So I want to have them all going in a chain where all the bottoms are connected to all the bottoms of all the sockets, and all the tops are connected to all the tops of the sockets. What I mean by that, these are the tops, and then this would be like the grounded, which is technically not a ground, it's the braid. I want to have all them connected. So in order for me to do that, I need to see how everything is. That one will go like that then. So that's the trick. I don't think it's going to matter, technically. However, it's just going to look more professional, I guess you could say. That way. That's going to go to here. Okay, that's not the same way. I'm looking at now you can't see it. I'm looking at my board over here. Alright, the way my board is routed, I have to change these now. Oh, I did change it. No, I didn't. This is just me being anal, I guess. This one here. Will be like that. This one here will be like that. This one here is wrong, or is it right? Like I said, I want to connect all bodies to the bodies and all tops to the tops. That's going to go around. That is wrong. I'm going to leave that one like that and just put it off to the side. In case there's another one I got to bend like that. There. Okay, we're going to go from here to here, from here to here, to here. Actually, to here. Let's get these done first. Air compressor. Got the lock on. There. There, those are correct now. And then that one, bottom, that will be a bottom, 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 there. That will go to that, which is a bottom. Go to that, which is a bottom. And then go to that, which is a bottom. Alright, so we got that figured out now. It's just me being anal with the way I got things laid out. So I want everything to be, you know, bent a certain way. This one line up with over here. And that one will actually work right over here. So that's like works perfect. Alright. Now ground braid. I got my ground braid. This is gonna be the fun part now. Alright, and what I recommend for soldering these is a really old school hand gun. The reason why is because you want something that heats up fast, good and strong. That is what you want to use, because this is going to do both. And this thing will get hot super stupid quick. That's why I'm holding the end down with the screwdriver. And that will burn the crap out of you. So here at the end, because this socket is new on this firepower, CPR added this extra hole, so this socket never even existed, but this one did. So I kind of want to branch them together, but still have them look factory by having them route the same way. Like I said, this gets really hot. It'll stay hot for a while. There. Now that will go to there. It's going to go right here. It's going to go right here. I need to move the socket. Gonna go across a little bit. Then it's gonna come right back up through the middle. To about here. Yeah, to about right there. And then this will come to about right here. And then it's got a tight turn. Right there. And then right there. And then it goes across. It's right there. Alright, we got that far. So now we can do some more soldering. I'm just going to leave that socket off until I get done soldering right there. But as you can see, with the way it lays out, it's kind of genius. There. Alright, so these are connected. The bait, well, the body's connected, and the body's connected over here. So I will have to move the camera for the next spot, but let's put this bulb back in. Socket. So I get a magnetic screwdriver, so there. Let's get you up a little bit higher. Alright, move the braid and my solder. Okay, and now this just about right here. Is that almost a straight shot? Yeah, it's basically a straight shot. So it's going to go to right here. Now it's going to turn about right here. It's going to go across that, just to the other side. Then it's going to come back to there. It's going to go across. To there. Hear how quiet that thing is? To there. That's one of those little Harbor Freight Fortress air compressors. Man, that thing is like buttery quiet and buttery smooth. Yeah, that thing is that quiet. It's a little Fortress 1 gallon air compressor. And it says it's 80% quieter, and yeah, you didn't hear that. Alright. Now we solder on this one. See, this is where I do not recommend a Hakko soldering iron, because you're never gonna solder these good. You're just going to be there forever trying to generate heat. And this machine right here is literally going to do it in seconds. So yeah, that power braid right there is now 100% completely done. I'm still holding it because, like I said, that gets hot. So what do? We got connected here, connected here, connected here, connected here. Just going to go around here, come back, connect to here, go down around, connect to here, and then connect to here and here. Now the tricky part is I do not remember where the power actually hooks up to this one for this braid. There is a blob of solder right here on the wire. I also see on my original playfield this looks messed up here too. So that's might be another spot where the power wire hooks up onto. But actually I remember, I believe it's hooked on right here now. Now that I remember, it is hooked on right there. Yeah. Yep, right there. That's where it's hooked on to. Right there. So I'm going to actually add more solder to this. Because there's two big wires that connect to this. There. Alright, let's run one more off this. We're just going to do this one whole circuit here. So let's move the camera back down. Okay, we're going to be attaching to this one. So we probably should get this mech out. But what I'm going to do, here, I put a dot on it. That lets me know where the edge is. And I got a nice little cup over here. What I mean by cup is where one of the prop rod for the playfield attaches, goes in. I call them a cup because it acts like a cup on a playfield that holds your screws. Alright. So now we can connect this. Goes there. Goes to there. the camera up again. Okay, where does that go now? That goes through these two. Where does it go? Alright, like that. We'll take that wire and we'll cut it off right there. Where I got the wire from, Wire Bot. They're located right here in wonderful Wisconsin. Alright, so that's all gone through it exactly where it needs to go through. So now, since we're up on top here, where are we? We're right here. We'll solder it down. Now these went all to the tops. Well, actually, it only connected 2 wires. However, this is going to connect to that. This one up here will connect to a couple over here. Alright, and I didn't move the camera. Alright. So we just soldered to this one. This one actually connects to the top of this. When I get the rest of the mech on for that, that will connect to that. And here and here. So it does do a extra. I might as well just put a little solder on top of there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Vern? Okay. These all connect. That connects. And that connects. There. So now we got some connecting stuff. Oh, damn it. I wanted to connect this one. Alright. I forgot to check my camera and it stopped. I did connect this one and that one. We are connected with that one. So now we are working on, this is just a little bit how far I got while the camera stopped. We got to connect all these yellows together, which is for, because this is GI, so it's going to connect all these together in one lump loop. So actually I didn't get too far ahead of myself. It just was this one, and I'm starting to wire these. So that's about as far as I got ahead of myself before the camera stopped. hear that other weird noise in the background. That is the washing machine. Alright, that. We'll go to here. Which will go to here. Yeah. No, I did not want to do that. There. I accidentally connected the base to the socket, which I did not want to do. Alright. Which I got all the boogers off. Alright. This one connects to that one. Alright. That's good now. And then this one goes to this one. Is the last part of that chain. There. So now this GI here is attached to this GI, which is attached to this GI, which is attached to this GI, which now is attached to this brand new GI. So I can do, I think I can do this one now. Yeah. Let's do the one more. I gotta move my camera again. Alright. Let's get this mech back on before I lose the screws again. So I don't have to worry about anything over here now. The only thing I got to worry about is getting a new piece, this piece for it, because that one's wrong. Put new ones on, but accidentally ordered the wrong parts. This will have to come off one more time. Alright. Now I won't lose any screws. Alright, now what do we gotta do? This has to get connected to here. Yeah. Top. Top. Alright. This time I'm monitoring how much time I have on my, what do you call it, camera. Yeah. Solder over here. Right. That one goes to that one, which goes to that one. Let's tin those first. Make it a little easier. Connect that to that. Alright, so now that we're connected to this braid, we are actually connected to everything up on top on this side. I will show you when we're done. kind of cool. Didn't want to do that. Just wanted to do that. I guess we should tin that first. And I'll go like that. And that was warm. I'll go like that. All right. Coolness in the world of wiring. Let's get all this junk out of my way. All right, wide. All right. We connected this socket to this socket, which is connected to this socket and this socket, which is connected to this braid that connects to this socket, which is connected to this socket, 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 socket. Now the power braid is connected from here to 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 here and here. So technically all these GIs are now tied together, base to base and top to top. Now when the power gets attached, which I can't remember what spot it is again, I believe it was right here, that will be the power, and then ground will get attached to here. Once that gets attached, this whole string of GI will be all illuminated together in one batch, which is pretty cool how things are laid out. And now I got to do the GI string for the top and for the side. It looks like everything from here is another GI string, and then all that is another GI string. But that's all you and I are going to do for today. No use doing everything, but you do get to see how one string of wire leads around and wraps around and attaches to each other, which is pretty cool how they designed it. And then you can see the weird road map of how everything goes around goofy. And yeah, I could have made some super tight wires here, but however, the harness goes around here, so we got a switch that goes here, and I couldn't go this way because I have leafs that go here, and then leaf that go here, a harness that attaches there. I don't know what that hole's for. Oh, that's for the lane guides. So yeah, I got all that weird stuff that's got to go through. So yeah, we can't just do whatever. That's why I want the exact same factory route for everything. This way everything I know is going to be out of the way. Nothing's going to be anything. If it gets in the way, I can just move it, zip tie it, or whatever. But the factory left loops, this was the only one that was an issue from the factory, because what they did was this was also looped through the harness. So when I took apart the harness, I had to cut this wire here because this was like an after wire. So it actually went through part of the harness. So now it's separate from the harness. So, and then this, like I said, this is brand new here, so, which is cool. So yeah, that's the basics of your braiding. You will see videos on the mechs now. I had to get the mechs done before I did braiding, just so I knew I wouldn't bump into anything like here. If I didn't have this in, I may have ran my braid into that. I don't think I would, because I knew it was marked here for a braid. But this way I got all the mechs on, and I know for sure I'm not going to be in the way of any mech. And all the other harnesses that go on, with leaf switches and stuff, I know I'm going to be out of the way because of right here and then right here. There's nothing running there. Actually, this whole area right here is nothing. So yeah, I could have went more this way, but I still had to go to here. But yeah, that's it. There'll be some cool stuff along the bottom there. Give me a thumbs up. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like, share. Make sure you subscribe. A lot of people don't subscribe. They just watch. But if you're watching all these videos, you might as well subscribe because you're finding this interesting. So take care and later.